Hey guys, welcome to my channel once again. Today we are going to be discussing map awareness. The definition of this skill is pretty straightforward. Map awareness is the act of looking at your minimap and taking information out of it. You will get nothing from the money you spend on wards if you don't pay attention to the map. This is a very big skill to learn properly, and once you've got it down, you will notice it will save your life more often than SKT wins games. Yes, a world reference. Thing is, this isn't a skill you can practice a lot in-game, and it requires no mechanical skill at all. So how can you improve at it? The first thing you can do for yourself is to make your map bigger, and for that, go to the map interface options and make it as big as possible, while at the same time diminishing your HUD and chat. This will make you pay more attention to the map, believe me. Now there are a lot of other things that you can do to improve your map awareness, which I am going to list for you. And you can do one of them, you can do all of them, and I bet you will see results very soon. One thing that I recommend you do very often, and that the pro players do a lot if you watch them stream, is to open the score table by pressing the tab key as often as possible. One thing you might not be aware of is that it not only shows you the KDA count of everyone on the game, but it also shows you who is present and who is missing on the opposing team. If you're pushing the bot lane and you notice that the mid and the jungler are missing, then you'd better get out of there. The second tip I can give you is actually a tool you might use, and it is a timer. Now, I'll leave a link in the video so that you can press on it, and this is not even LoL related, it's just a simple timer. What you can do is set a timer to beep every 20, 15 or 10 seconds, and every time it beeps, you should look at the minimap. Do this in just a few games, otherwise it will get really annoying. But your brain will eventually learn to do this without the timer. The third thing that I recommend you do is something outside of the game and even outside of your computer. What you can do is make a big shiny arrow and glue it on the monitor to force your eyes to look at the map. And believe me, I've tried this, it proved to be extremely helpful. Yes, it will take a little bit of work, but it proves to be extremely helpful. And the fourth thing that you can do to actually improve your map awareness, and this is one of the best ways I'd recommend you, is to just play a jungler or the support role for a few games. These roles aren't as focused on maintaining your CS high and require you to play through the minimap. Playing Soraka support, for example, is a sure way of getting better at being aware of the rest of the game because of your global ultimate, which requires you to notice everyone's health bar at all times. At the same time, playing a jungler requires you to look at the map to see if any lanes are pushed or in need of help. Even though this skill is called map awareness and you can read it on the title, this skill isn't technically supposed to make you aware of the map. I'm sure you are aware of that it sits in the low right corner and that it has 2 bases, 3 lanes, a dragon, a baron pit, etc. This is supposed to make you aware of the game you're playing, and if you want to do that, the minimap is extremely helpful. But there are a few other things you should also notice. For example, are you aware that the first gank on the top lane usually occurs between the 3 and 350 minute mark? Are you aware of the gold amount you need to buy your next item? Are you aware of the wards you placed that are about to expire? Of the Baron and Dragon timers? Of the buff timers for that matter? Enemy summoners? Enemy ult cooldowns? All of these belong to the same category, and even though the title of this video is map awareness, it should really be called game awareness, because you are not playing a 1v1 in the top lane. You're playing a full 5v5, and whether you win your lane or not might not be important if you still lose at the end. But if you had noticed the team fight was occurring in your jungle and you were split pushing top with TP up and did nothing about it, this is the video for you. Let's go through some objectives. I've actually talked about this in my first video, but let's get through them again. 0 to 10. Look at the map when dead. 20. Look at the map when someone pings. 30. Look at the map to decide your plays. 40. Look at the map once a minute. 50. Look at the map to decide trades. 60. Look at the map several times a minute. 70. Look and ping about information. 80. Look every few seconds. 90. Follow movement on the fog. And 100. Between every single last hit, you are going to be looking at the map. Now, as I've said in the beginning of this video, use the tips and tools that I've provided you and notice how ganks mean nothing when you know where the jungler is at all times and what he is planning to do. I hope this helped you out, and if it did, recommend it to a friend, subscribe, leave a like, it really helps out the beginning. Thank you for watching. Sakeios out.